Alright, so we're in the exploder. It's, oh, it's fucking, what? It's, okay, it's about 8 o'clock, whatever, you know, irrelevant. But, you know, that's our odometer, okay, and, alright, we've got the wheel where I have it when I'm driving, at least, and, we go right turn signal, okay, works, left turn signal, alright, yep, that's good too, hazards, yep, okay, brights, oh yeah, that works too. So we put on the hazards, and let's pop the wheel up. Okay, that doesn't do anything weird. Once we oh, yep. No more turn signals. Let's put down another one. Ah, see, now the hazards only turns on the right turn signal. And the left is. Oh, that didn't sound very healthy. Okay, I'm gonna stop messing with that, and I'm gonna put this back to where it goes. Yeah, it's a slight issue. So, what we're gonna do to start messing with this is we gotta come under here. Okay, all right. We've got this clamshell thing. We've got about four screws, I do believe, or 4. Hold on, I can't count. Looks like about 3 screws here. Now a lot of people, they remove this whole dash panel here, this whole thing, and let me tell you now, you don't need to do that. It is possible to remove this clamshell without doing that. So we're just gonna come under here, right? I'm gonna take these out, and this is just your standard size number 2, I believe, Phillips head. So fairly average. All right, so yeah, here's what these screws look like. Here's one of them. You'll need a less fat screwdriver than the one that I have. This one does not fit in all of the holes, so you'll need something a little skinnier than this. Don't mind the receipt holder there. But, see, fortunately, I keep the handy-dandy, very wrong tool with my slightly bent flathead screwdriver. Yeah, it's a little... Oh, come on, if it'll focus. It's a little curved, you know, but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Anyways, what we're gonna do is take the wrong tool at all. Don't do this, but I don't have the right tool, so I'm just gonna strip this screw out real quick and destroy it and never be able to get this off. I have to come in here with the angle grinder, of course. Just cut this plastic off. All right, well that one here didn't quite come out. No, I'm not quite sure. Maybe it has something to do with the fact I'm not using the appropriate tool whatsoever. There's no way that it would have something to do with that. With this one out, and this one loose, definitely good enough. We're gonna come over here to not the no. See, as you can tell, I'm a true professional. All right, we've got the this screw out, which came from this hole here. Yeah, it turns out, yeah, never even in my life once before done this, but I was tightening it, not loosening it. So yeah, don't do that as well. All right, so this front hole was kind of a pain. Hopefully yours will be easier, but yeah, I just had to pop the old screw out. But for some reason that one didn't fall out. I had to come in here with my screwdriver. Also, don't do this. Use actual trim tools. And then I came over here and I just slipped this in here, rotated it, popped it loose, and that screw just dropped right out. So what we do now is use a proper trim tool, pop this open, And with the clamshell popped open, now we need to take the little knob here and just, I believe it threads off, unthreads rather. So what you want to do is grab and twist, although sometimes you can't get these off by hand. So you'll need some kind of pliers. All right, so now we've returned with this, of course, and I'm just gonna grab some shop towels. You should really use a microfiber for this. But I'm just gonna wrap them around the angle adjusting knob. I'm gonna grab it with the pliers. These are not pliers, these are wire cutters. We're gonna unscrew this, because that tilt adjust has to come off to pull the clamshell off. Shouldn't be too hard. So this just borked this also incorrect tool for this job, and ripped a hole through my shop towel, and therefore, it's a little chewy. But the idea is just that you twist it, and it breaks free. Now, mine has not done this, and I have now damaged it, as you can see. It's cosmetically damaged, but it's still not off. So, I guess I'll just go ham, because I now need a new one. I'm just gonna, Alright, I'm gonna conceal the gore here, because it's pretty bad. I ended up having to use, got a little sneak peek there, something like this. I gave up on trying to keep it in good condition since I already damaged it. I'm just gonna replace it with one from the junkyard, but as you can see, this little rod threads into there, and then you just pull on it, but that thing gets pretty well corroded. So yeah, this thing's pretty well, ooh, don't look at that. This thing's pretty well junk, so I'm just gonna, the clamshell should pop out. We can remove the bottom half, and ooh, that is grody. Anyways, yeah, you can see those 3 screws there, and this thing is gross, so we'll give that a clean. And then now is when we need to, I didn't think this through. It would appear I need to go retrieve the garbage I just threw out of the car. We now need to thread this back in. Ooh, don't look at that. Oh, don't look at it. Oh, just don't look at it. We need to thread this back in. See, this was so chewy. It's not as bad going back in, but it didn't start unthreading by hand until it was almost all the way out. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and pop the wheel tilt down, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove this again, and we'll have a funeral for him later. Now is when we need to grab keys, charge the unlock position, make sure your e-brake is on, put it in, I don't know, something, drive maybe. The goal is to pop this top of the clamshell up and out. Now, this is doable. It is more difficult, but it is doable without removing this dash piece. You just need the wheel all the way down, and then you gotta just give her a bit of a tug here, and you just kind of finagle it, you know, wiggle it around, usual. Here we go. So I had to pull this one out on the left a little bit, and now I believe is when we need to shift it into a different gear, and there we go, just like that. the top of the clamshell's out. Now that'll be easier if your vehicle is manual. This is an Explorer Sport, not a Ranger, but same process. So now we have access to this whole multifunction switch, which has, you know, not been very happy. Oh. And you can actually see right here what has happened is not actually that the multifunction switch has failed, but that this connector has just snapped and broken. Yeah, so that's why when I would tilt the wheel, things would stop working because this connector would lose connection and then make connection. And yeah, it's nowhere near in there. That does mean that the switch itself is good. That's not really what I had anticipated. Oh, it's depinning itself. Oh, okay, zip ties might not fix that. Oh, there's just broken plastic falling out of it. Huh. Okay, maybe I will end up doing this the right way, because what really needs to happen is all of these need to be cut and lengthened, and this connector needs to be replaced. That is unfortunate, because a lot of the time the switch itself fails, and you just have to replace this, you know, this whole unit. It comes out easily once you're here. There are just a couple of screws, I believe. But this is not that. This is wiring damage. So, guess I'm gonna be taking a trip to the junkyard. Alright, now we're in the golf ball where we've got Ralph here. You know, as per usual, we're gonna go to the junkyard because that idiot is, barked and broken. We're gonna do something about that. Here we have this. I'm gonna do some prep inside because it's dark and cold outside. This is a connector that I got from the junkyard. Now, this does not have all of the same, oh, my memory serves. This does not have all of the same wire inputs. This is all that was attached to it from the factory. Now, this did come out of a Ranger, which is not the same as my Explorer Sport, but it does have the ability to receive all of the same pins. So what we'll do is we're gonna keep these ones, which are the worst offenders of the bunch. We're gonna get these ones, strip them, and we're gonna grab some of these heat shrink and butt connectors here. And don't laugh, it's not funny, of course. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna strip them. Maybe 16 gauge. So we've got one strip. Now let's pull one of these out and see how far back we need to strip the wires. Yeah, it needs to get stripped a little further back than that. Okay. But this will serve to elongate all of the wires that are too short and caused this to fail originally. Let's get that. That should be plenty of wire strippage. There we go, that's perfect. So that bottoms out. Go ahead and crimp this on. Just get her in there. Squeeze it up real good. Now, I always forget that these wire strippers are kind of bad at crimping. So you gotta crimp it a couple of times. And you gotta really give her. But that should crimp. You want to test your crimp job by grabbing onto the wire on one end, and onto the butt connector and pulling at it, and it shouldn't come off. But just that should be plenty of added length. Alright, so verifying that, you know, our wire colors match with what we've prepped yesterday. I'm just going to start cutting these off because they're too short, and I'll just cut them, you know, right here. Oh, there's one. Put that right over there. And now, of course, these will need to be stripped back and then crimped onto our new ones, but cut that one, keep that over there where I'll use it later. Nope. And now the rest of them are also going to get, well, most of them are going to get cut. We're going to cut this one, we're going to cut this one, and this one. Now, let's get this out of here, keep that over there. our new connector here came out of a Ranger and is missing a couple of the wires. Now, the ones that it's missing are not damaged and aren't causing any issues, so we're just gonna pop them out from the front here and then just push them in properly instead of cutting them and splicing an extra length. So what I'm gonna use is one of these screws, and you gotta go in here from the front, and you can see there's the metal bit and then a plastic bit next to that. That plastic bit has to be pushed towards the center of the connector, for the ones over here at least, and then that will free up the little pin. Can't do that one-handed, so I'm gonna do that now. Alright, now we've got this very, very busted connector out of there. Keep that over there. And we have our new one ready to be spliced onto all of these. So I've actually noticed here that these are slightly different. So here's our new one out of the Ranger. I'm not sure, I don't remember what year this came out of. And then here's my old one. This one from the Ranger has an additional pin slot that wasn't used on the Ranger and isn't used on this one, as evidenced by, you know, the lack of its existence. So that should be fine. We're going to come over here and we're going to insert these old wires in where they're supposed to go. Now, I may be suffering what is known as a skill issue here. Oh, yep, definitely am. Okay, that's good. Now let's get this one in, and then we can just strip back these old wires, crimp them on to our new ones, and plug this in, reinstall the trim, and then it should all be good. So what I've done here is I've pulled out this pin, which is the one that goes into this middle slot on the edge here. I pulled this out of our connector using the same screw trick as before, and I've just slid this over the wire, and then we'll get in here, crimp this up. Alright, so is it my absolute finest work? Definitely not, but should it hold? Theoretically, if we give it a little tug, we're good. So now we will just pop this over and slide it back into the connector. Now, some of these don't actually click, they don't make an audible click, but you can check in the front and make sure you can see the little metal bit is the same, and that clip that is next to the little metal bit here is pushed all the way up towards the metal bit, and that's how you know it'll be properly secured. You can also give it a little tug, and if it's good, then it's good. Alright, so we've got the last one done here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it into the connector, make sure that it's seated all the way, which it is. Give all of them a little bit of a, you know, a little tug. Make sure everything's good on our new connector. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pop this down. We've got the connector on here now. Snap it on. Hazards. Work. Put it into the on position, or the run position rather. And we'll test out our turn signals. So we can put it into the run position, right signal, left signal. Perfect. That's all we need, and I guess we can test the bright switch as well. So pulling the lever forward does trigger the brights right there. If we turn on the headlights, ooh, the camera does not like the backlighting. We've got proper bright switch activation as well. So that's perfect. Now, it's pretty simple. We just pop on the trim that we removed. I'm going to clean this up a little bit because it's pretty... Oh! Oh, that's worse than I thought. Ooh, that is nasty. Ooh, okay, well, anyways, now this should, you know, not break, which is cool. These are heat shrink wire butt connectors, but I don't know. I mean, if you're doing this, you should heat shrink it. I'm not going to, because I'm lazy, and because I don't want to go find the heat gun. But yeah, you should probably heat shrink these if you're going to do it. This, you know, this is my car. If this were someone else's car, I would you know, put the dielectric grease in there, do it right, heat shrink it, but it's my car. If it breaks, I'll fix it on the side of the road. So, yeah, we're gonna get that trim reinstalled, move this cable out the way. And, well, yeah, let me, ew. Oh, that's really gross. We're gonna clean this up. I'll be right back. Ew. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, so, we're not even quite done yet, but it's a little better. But, that's what's been hiding behind there. So that's pretty nasty. We're gonna start out with, the top clamshell piece here. We're gonna start by feeding it over the shifter, and then you want to get it underneath this dash piece, because the other way to do this, of course, as I talked about earlier, is to remove this whole gauge cluster surround and, you know, all this, and it's a huge pain, but this is just the easier way to do it. So this is just going to take some wiggling to get back in. Took some wiggling to get out. It's going to take some wiggling to get back in, but it hopefully shouldn't be too bad. This plastic is relatively malleable without breaking it open. And the goal, you want to get these plastic pins, I guess, down into the metal brackets that are part of the column here. So we've got another one on this side, and you just want to get it in there. So you want to make sure that it's good on this side, and on this side with the alignment of the turn signal stalk and the lock tumbler here. We'll make sure all of that's good, which it is. And now we'll grab the bottom clamshell piece. We'll give that a bit of a clean. We'll grab this and reinstall it. Then reinstall the adjustment lever, which that's my old one. I got a new one at the junkyard that I need to find because I threw it somewhere and I don't know where it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, well, I can't seem to find my new lever, but if I can grab the old one there. That we won't look at because it's absolutely mangled. We can just throw it back in here. So for installing the clamshell top, you want the wheel to be tilted as far down as possible. That will make that a lot easier. We're just going to take this and we're going to line it up. We'll slide the back in first, and then we line it up, and then we give her a, okay, well, I might need both hands for this, but we'll give her a squeeze. We'll squeeze the top and the bottom together. Make sure those go together nicely. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna test everything and make sure that our turn signals are actually working, which I'm not sure if it's coming through on video, but I can see that it is. You can see in my rear view, we've got one, and then there's me, hello, and then we have second one. You can kind of see that reflection there. So the lights are actually working. We can also test our bright switch, which is good, and then the pull forward, which is also good and working. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we'll test the hazards, which is those work as well. And now the final test, let's pop the hazards and pop the wheel into the bottom tilt position and test everything again. Everything is working great. So that is these Ford multifunction switch harness wiring issues. That's how they act, how to fix them, and yeah, it's pretty simple, honestly. I will catch you next time or something. I don't know, something like that.